How do you preserve a moment so that it stands the test of time and lasts forever? I wanted my court wedding fit to not only showcase my personality, but to be able to be transported back in time just by looking at it. My court fit definitely passed the vibe check, but that's not what this video is about. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I will be talking about my court wedding and answering some of the questions that I kept on getting about my court wedding as well. Right, so I had... Shit, my neighbor just said come on Jen, which means that it's about to get noisy here. We got engaged in June and we decided to have our wedding on July 16th, just a day before our 1-year anniversary. A week before or thereabout, we went for our friend's court wedding at the Ikoyi registry, and I just knew that there was no way in hell that I was going to bring my family members to this place. It was stressful. Literally, we had to sit under a canopy. We had to pay for sitting under the canopy in the first place at the Ikoyi registry to wait for our friends. They allowed like 2 people only. It was hot, and we just sat down there for like 2 hours or 3 hours. We couldn't even see the people that we came to see get married. Is that correct English? Anyways, because they took them inside and we couldn't go in with them, so we just sat down outside under the hot sun for a long time. So I was just like, no, it's not going to happen. And so we started looking into, how we can have our wedding privately in our house. I actually do have a functional website. I was pleasantly surprised. It's ecity-based.interior or something. I'll link it somewhere. And it lists like a lot of the things that you need to know to do your court wedding in Nigeria or in Lagos. Yeah, so I went on there and I saw that they have something called like a special wedding, an ordinary wedding, and a change of wedding venue. So special wedding is when you're getting married to a non-Nigerian. So we were doing an ordinary wedding, Nigerian to Nigerian, and a change of venue because we didn't want to have it at the Ikoyi registry. On the website it says ordinary marriage is 15k, change of wedding venue is 30k. I found out that whatever is on the website, they don't even use it. I don't know. My sister got married, did her court wedding at the local government in our local government in Surulere, right? So I was like, okay, maybe we can just do it at the local government instead of having my husband stays in Ikeja, right? So instead of having to go all the way to Ikoyi, we should try and figure out how it works so we can do it at the Ikeja local government. So I took it upon myself to actually like go and check out the local government and find out the process. And I went there and I went to the office where they directed me to, and I met this woman. I was like, oh, hi, I want to get married and we want to find out the process. No, we don't want to do it in the local government. We want to do it at home. So how does that work? And this woman looked at me and I don't know if she'll see money on my face or something. And then she was just like, oh, to do that is 150k. And I'm like, excuse me? I was like, oh, on the website it says that. She was just like, yeah, that's how much it is, but or what do you want to give me? I'm like, okay, I need to go back home and talk to my people about this. And then when I went home, they were like, yeah, that doesn't make any sense, we're not going to do that. So I put out a tweet asking people if they had like any contact for me and stuff. And then someone replied me and she gave me a contact for someone at the Ikoyi registry who can help me. Oh my god. So the gen isn't on yet, but there's something going. I'm really going through a lot, you guys. And I was like, okay, cool, let me try this link. And so I called the lady, I speak to her, I tell her what I want to do, I tell her who gave me her contact. And then she goes, oh, that's 85k. And I'm like, okay, at least that's better than 150. And at this point, we're just like, no, it's fine, let's just do it. I knew that I wasn't going to go to do my court wedding at any local government office or Ikoyi registry. And so yeah, that's the top question I actually kept on getting. People in my DMs like, oh, we didn't know that you can have your court wedding at home. I'd like to do the same. What's the process like? Sent us a form, about data and all of that. We had to fill all of that. And then we also had to submit a birth certificate, 2 passport photographs, our international passport, the front page. So we had to scan it and send it to her as well. And then something that I found really funny was you have to give them an affidavit or a proof of being single, right? That you're a spinster or you're a bachelor. She pretty much did all of that for us. And also you have to get a letter of identification from your local government as well. Local government from where you come from. So for me now, I'm from Anambra, so that's from my Okasa local government letter of identification. I had to do the letter of identification myself, and she gave me a contact for someone who just did it for me for an absurd price. But at this point we're already in. We're just like, let's just keep going, get it over with. And so that was really the process. On the 16th, the court guy came to our house. The registrar, I think that's what they called him, registrar. We had to pay his Uber fee. So 85k plus 15k or so that we paid for letter of identification, and then the Uber money, which I can't remember how much, but that's pretty much the rough estimate of how much we paid, for our court wedding, our private court wedding at home. So pretty much we just did all of that, submitted it. We told her the date that would work for us, and she did all the back end. Actually very stress-free. It feels like you plan and stress so much over like a moment, and then that day just comes and it goes, and it's like, okay, that's it. So yeah, the guy came to the house and did all the doings and then we signed our certificates. Our witnesses signed the certificate, and pretty much that was it. We were married. Very straight to the point. We decided that we were going to have like 25 to 30 people, but obviously parenting, the numbers increased. We decided to have it at home, and I went into like full plan mode. So one thing about me is I like to do my things with like little personalized touches, and so I would just obsess over it and make sure obsess over the tiny details. I decided that I wanted like an arc setup at the front where the desk was going to be. Some of the things that I did myself were, I printed out our Mr. and Mrs. sign that goes at the back of the chair. I printed out a thank you note as well, and then I bought some fake flowers and divided them and tied them to our chairs as well. Just little personal touches. Deciding on my outfits was a journey, right? I knew right from time that I did not want to wear a dress. When it comes to dresses for court wedding, it's usually those pencil dresses, and it's not for me. Not only is it not for me, I feel like it works better for people that have like a hip and a waist, and there's something to accentuate. But for me, I was like, nope. I also didn't even want stress, so I just knew that I was going to wear a blazer dress or like a power suit or something. I worked with my cousin who runs a brand called Cool by Jacqueline, and she just made my process so easy and stress-free. Like when I got my outfit, I was like, yeah, put some respect on Cool by Jacqueline, because she killed it. So I decided I was going to wear champagne gold and my husband was going to wear brown. Hindsight, the color should have been switched. He should have worn the lighter color and I with the darker color because it's dark skin. Yeah, hindsight. Really happy with my outfit. And so what we decided is I got this tapered pants and also a top which was like a crop top, but it had this really flowy hands, And my hair was a source of problem for me because I'm on the low cut, and I was like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? I kept on trying to hit up, hairstylists, and I was getting another preposterous price. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm just going to dye this platinum blonde. It didn't come out platinum blonde. It came out blonde, but at the end of the day, it actually worked. So yeah, I think that answers most of the questions that I have been getting from people about my court wedding. I thought that I was going to be super stressed by the court aspect of it, but I was actually more stressed by figuring out the decor, figuring out the sitting arrangement for the people, figuring out how to shortlist the number of people so that they can fit into the number of guests that we actually wanted to have. If you have any other questions about the court wedding process that I haven't answered, please feel free to leave them in the comments for me, and I will be back next week with another video on my wedding planning process. Thank you for watching. Like, love, subscribe, and please share with your friends.